Welcome.
Welcome.
Yes, we're live. Can you hear us? Can you see us? That's the question.
It was OBS that was a dick.
Yep.
But again, we love them, overlords of YouTube, OBS, Skype. Thank you for doing what they do.
Just let us know if you can hear us and see us okay.
Yes.
I know you can see us, but you hear us.
Yes. What are we up to today, Stuart?
Oh, another ranked tier list.
And dare I say, it should be far funner than yesterday's live.
Yes. This will be like 79% of the people we look at, I will not know their names.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few of those. A lot of faces. Yeah, this morning I went and I got 49 different character variants and people. 47, sorry. That's a lot of people. Obviously, when you start thinking TNG, if you go for the actual one-offs, obviously there's more than that. But the regulars, you know, less so. And because Discovery is such that all the bridge crew, there's like 3 batches of bridge crew, sort of, and then it's like, yeah.
So yeah, some we're not going to have much to say about it all.
Nope. But that was the fun of this idea.
I noticed there was no Captain Killy, but I didn't add her because
didn't see
it
her.
was just... Well, we did.
Did we?
Yeah, the second time in the Mirror Universe. And, you know, she did a pretty good job as Captain Killy when Tilly took the role. So,
Well,
I don't know. I wanted to add her because I love Captain Killy. But
yeah, I can't say I remember her from the real Mirror much. I guess she was just second fiddle to Michael and to...
Yes.
Yeah. Did you add Landry?
Landry.
Take that as a no.
Oh, I did not add her because I hate that bitch.
Yeah, we'll add as we go, because, like I say, there's like 50-something now, but there's going to be some other ones.
Did you add the tardigrade? His name was Ripper, don't you know?
I didn't know.
He was going to be a crew member originally.
Yep.
I can't stand Landry. That actress, just in every role she does, is just horrifically awful.
Except BSG. Except BSG.
Oh, she's also very awful in that, too.
Except BSG. Yeah, Stuart, you invent a poll and I'm going to start sharing. I want to see what you throw in there.
Ooh. Well, I got to talk to the people while you share. Hey, guys. Hit like. All 22 of you hit like. We have 14 likes. We can do better than that. By all means, make sure you check out the join option. Make sure you're subscribed. First of all, hit the like button. And also check out the join option. You can be part of the fleet. And you can also do the same thing over on Patreon/Trekyards if you wish to do that as well, or also, or instead of. You can do that. So go do that. And check out the links down below to the Teespring and the TeePublic store. It's really cool Trekyards merch, which we'd like to see you guys sporting in the future at conventions. I had to fix my camera, and now he's going to have to reconfigure the thing because my camera was wonky. But that's okay. Let's do the things. I will create a poll. Let's see, what kind of poll should I give? Start a poll. Favorite? We'll go with favorite. Discovery. That's the show we're looking at. Character. And then we can only do 4 options. So let's see. We'll go Burnham. Saru. Saru. And the other options. Let's see. We'll go with that one, and we'll go with this one as well. Hi, Sam. Look at that. You're back.
Hey.
Might have to adjust my thing just a slight bit because I had to fix my camera because it was crooked.
Okay, can do.
Just a slight little bit.
Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep.
Ew.
Beep, 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 beep. Yes.
I have a poll up. You can read it because that's just the way things work.
Favorite Discovery character: Burnham, Saru, Tilly, or Lorca? Evil Lorca, of course.
Oh,
We never got
that debate again.
Never got to see Prime Lorca.
Yeah, but he was enough like the Prime Lorca that nobody knew, except even Adira Corwell, who was in a relationship with him, didn't suspect it till later. So it's fine.
But it's also Discovery writing, so you know. Yes. Yeah. So like I said, lot of people to go through. There'll be a broad range of discussion or lack thereof. As I'm sure you said in the meantime, you guys super chat to move them at your will, because as you guys know, we do a first run, gut, argument, and then if you override or have a distinct placement, set them down with $5 or per slot. So if you hate someone that much, you can up and down them at will. And then right at the end, we'll re-rank slightly based on contrast, because everyone, you have a gut reaction, then you see them, it's like, oh no, they're definitely better than that in a moment. So it's a process. It's a process, and there's a lot of people here. And if you miss anybody, we'll keep track and add them, because a lot of people will be very quick. Yeah. So Stuart, where are we starting?
Okay, we'll just grab one out of the middle here somewhere.
We did season order it for our own clarity. Ah yes, this is Discovery Season 1 Klingon villain. I think his name was Cole. I think.
Sure.
Yes, evil Klingon
This
man.
guy.
Who was the lead, who's the High Council man, but wasn't. And he beamed aboard the sarcophagus ship and was like, I hate you all, and I'm taking the ship. And then he blew up on the bridge in a great CGI shot with appears and...
Yeah, I don't remember much about him to talk about it. But
he's very good at pronunciating the overlooking lines. Sorry, I read it.
We'll just give him a D to start.
Well, I'd go C, because at least he felt an intimidating villain. Like, he was in his scenes, he was intimidating, which at least means he did his thing at a level of okay. Because there'll be some real D's in this. I think he's a C guy. And I just realized we didn't add Takuvama, so I'll add Takuvama for all of his one scenes.
I didn't literally go through every picture and look to see who was here, so...
Oh, I didn't add him, so if he's not... Yeah.
Alright, so we'll put him at a C to start then.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Alright, who's next? Oh my god.
This is... Yeah. Detmer. There you go. Your thoughts?
The kindest, sweetest actress I've ever met.
Oh, nice.
The best character in film and cinematic history.
Oh, sweet. What'd you like about her?
Everything. She's just amazing.
Oh, damn.
We probably got to know her better than a lot of the other bridge crews, so there's that, at least.
Although, what do we know about her?
I don't know. I don't want to put her very high because I'm not a big fan of the character or the actress. So,
and yeah, they certainly tried to make her something in that she was at the first ship. She was one of the people that knew Burnham's true personality, and then she got her injury because of Burnham and all that situation. So at least there was a semblance of ness there, and she was a great pilot, I guess. Although, given the spore drive is just go forwards, press a button, Stamets jumps you, then her piloting was almost nullified. You know, the sarcophagus ship wasn't her doing it. Most things weren't her until the non-spore drive stuff, and it always spores. So she actually does very little piloting if you look at the show. And she may have been gay for Washington or not. I don't know. I mean, for me, worse than Cole, because at least she actually fails to be a good pilot. So I'd say as for our first D, because I know nothing about her except she can pilot, but she never did, really. So at least he succeeded at being a villain. This woman did not really succeed at being a pilot. What do you think?
Yeah, or a bridge crew member that contributed much, really.
And not even...
Alicia Washington went on a away mission once.
I will certainly give her higher. it's also funny that she knew Burnham. You could have had that be a massive plot point that she knew some stuff from Burnham's past that only her and Saru would know. Never played in. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm trying to look for this picture of her smaller. There's another picture of Detmer that's a smaller image.
Oh.
But I don't know if that's different.
Oh, thanks, Chris. Oh yeah. So I was thinking Voyager J for a second when he's read. Yes, there will be some. There will be some.
Is this one the one?
Is there more than one of her? Yeah. Yes.
That's a different picture though.
Oh well. I try and find the best pictures. I guess I found too good a picture. You know. I don't know.
Confusing now because I don't know if you did that on purpose.
No. Where would you put a gut reaction, or did my D convince you enough?
I would have put her at D for Detmer personally.
Okay. Yeah,
but I didn't want to just say that because I don't like her. But it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, my rationale.
If how Klingon gets higher than her, that's funny. All right, let's pull another one from the middle here.
This is specifically Spock from this season.
From season 2.
Mm-hmm. Emo Spock, as the fans call him.
Bearded Spock. He wasn't great as Spock. He later became a good Spock, but I think. Oh, and that beard wasn't a good look, by the way.
For the actor, it wasn't bad, but for Spock.
Well, even for the actor, like, shave this.
Oh yeah, the pointy up.
Don't have this friggin'. I don't know what that is. That a choice, or is it just the way the hair grows and he just didn't shave anything?
Or is it a fake beard entirely?
Honestly, I'd probably put him. Well, what do you think of him?
I'm trying to remember now. He was always right? He was always overshadowed by Burnham. He was only in like 4 episodes out of the season, and he lost himself. That was the whole point. He likes science, but it's not even like he looks young enough to be like the young Spock. Like if you're going for that sort of young naive guy, he's too old looking. As in, like, he doesn't look fresh faced enough, you know, to be young Spock. What did he contribute to the season? I'm thinking beyond the reason for the plot. I'm thinking
he was a MacGuffin.
He was a MacGuffin.
Ray Ricks. Yep, that's my thought. That's what I was going to put him at. 5 pounds says B.
Yeah. It's higher than the Klingon, but I can't remember enough of what he did.
I can't either, except for scribbling on his floor and
where did she find him again? Was he in a random shuttle? Was that a thing?
He escaped from an asylum. That's where he drawn on the walls. And I don't remember enough about the season to really tell you where they found him.
Because all I remember is that by the end it becomes about the Red Angel and the mum, and he sidesteps. Except to tell him about Spock. Yeah, I mean B, but I would say low B. You know. Yeah.
I was going to say B, but then I said, "What did you think?" And then so anyway, we didn't give him a chance to rank him.
So. A non-prideful B. You shouldn't be proud of that B.
Perfect.
Fascinating.
All right. Oh. Laris? No. What is her name? Trina. I don't remember her name. Trina. No, that's the Vulcan one. Anyway. Federation President Lady.
Yes.
I really like this actress. She was in A Man in the High Castle and stuff. And I love also that she's a mix of like Cardassian. Rillick, yeah. Cardassian and was it Denobulan, I think? Anyway, I think she's a great character and is a good presence to be the Federation president. So I think she did a fantastic job, actually. So
yeah,
very authoritative.
I do think, and I'll say it now, we're going to see a slight skew between season 3, 4, and 5 characters in one place of the ranked because they're all written better, pretty much across the board. So that'll be a slight, but that's what we're given, right? No, she was authoritative, but not mean. compassionate but not soft. She had her own personality, yet would listen to others, and she was, and she came from a place in the government, so she had experience. You trusted her, so all across the board, really good. Let down by the last season, not getting enough. But I mean, season 3 is the season for them all to do fun stuff. I want to give her a strong A. Cause I don't think I want to give the secret source of the S, because I don't know what I'm going to give S to. But I think she deserves a very high A, and maybe in contrast an S. I guess I didn't say it at the start. I'm not sure if I'm comparing this to, like, is this ranking to character quality or to discovery? Because I kind of feel like that's a sliding scale if it's discovery to discovery. That's why I want to go for gut here and see what happens. Is that what you're going to go with, or are you going to go for an S?
I wasn't going to say S too. Okay. I agreed with A. So
thoroughly respectable A, and she might go to S depending on the end, because she's very good. And as I said about the Klingon, she does her role excellent. If that's clarifying if that's what you need to be for the S, possibly, right?
All right. Next up, just pulling people from the back so I don't know who they are. Oh, this poor guy.
Scientist man. Green Lady, Osiris Scientist Man.
Yeah, I know. I just don't remember. He wasn't in. He was in like one episode.
No, he's in like 4.
Was he?
Yeah, only little bits in like 3 of them. But he's in quite a few.
Well, rest in peace to the actor. But yeah, I don't even know.
Something like that. He's the 3rd character from Discovery, of course. We've already looked at one of his previous ones. He was Aurelio.
Yes, that's right. No, he was a pretty good scientist. I remember that, and he did do a good job on screen. Yeah. I don't know. Not much else to say.
Yeah, he did the job well. His job wasn't super interesting, but it was a good supporting. But kind of like they just needed a scientist character. But certainly, I would say I guess a low B would be my gut. Did the job well enough to complain about, and a better job than the Klingon at sea. In terms of I liked him, I would have liked to see more of him had we had the chance. So therefore that says to a better character. I would have happily had him in season 4 and 5 if that had been an option. What do you think?
I was gonna say C, but
okay.
Just because we didn't get a lot of time with him.
Okay.
But
they didn't get more time with him or Detmer.
Well, yeah.
He said he got more lines in a sentence than she did. Okay, guys, what do you think? I want to know then, because I'm teetering. B or C for Aurelio. Because he was, and there's a bit where, he's a nice guy working for bad people. He's trying to do good things for the bad people, and to try and mitigate their badness so that some of the good they do can happen. Yeah. There's some complexity there if I want to do more of it.
People, the first super chat can lock it in. If it goes for a minute or two, we will just select a spot based on your suggestions there. But yeah,
B or C, or if you feel that strongly, A or D.
Well, I don't think either one of those is warranted. Ray Ricks, 2 pounds at a C.
Beautiful. Okay. Which is both of his characters currently. He has another character. Well, technically 2 more characters to go, but one is may get included or not. But
yeah.
Okay, interesting.
That is interesting. All right. Next up is Linus. Linus. I really enjoyed Linus. At first, he was very minimally in it, and he still, even after he was not minimally in it, he was still minimally in it. But it was great to see. I just
want to quote. I just want to shirt that. Stuart's famous quote of the year.
It's great to see his species kind of, fleshed out more. You got to see the 2 eyelid thing. You got to. There's some funny moments with him in turbo lifts. He was nice to have around, and I would like to have seen more of Linus, honestly. So, that's all I'm going to say, because I think he just needed to have more time. And I'm glad he got some in the last season, honestly.
Yeah, it's one of those things where there is that other creature on the bridge, the giant bug head, that is entirely a background piece. Linus was put in the mid-ground for a few moments. You know, they spend 8 hours in makeup or whatever. You want to give him a couple of lines, but I feel like I could write for the Linus character a little bit. You know, more than just a caricature. Would have been nice to have, you know, especially if they were on set, to give them some lines, and, you know, a nice Saurian. But again, screen time being super minimal, and I don't know much about him. I'll say a strong C, but there's not enough time to be a B, if that were, and that's a criterion. And I don't know what he does on the ship. I don't know why he's there. I don't. He was obviously on Discovery with the Blues, so why was he picked by Lorca to be part of the super secret, you know, convincible group?
I'd rank him a B. I'd rank him higher because, like I said, some really good comedic moments from him. He got to interact with more of the crew than some of the other bridge crew. I don't know. It's just, I always loved seeing him in a scene. Every time you knew he was in a turbo lift with somebody, something was going to happen. He was very friendly towards Michael in the one episode from this season where it's like, my color looks good on you.
Just funny, I don't know. They could have made him a true comic relief character, because he's like, he's not an afterthought, but he's like, oh, we could add a scene of him here. Okay. But they could have done that almost every episode, right? And it would have been funny.
Yeah.
I don't think he's even in 10 scenes. He's probably more like 6 scenes over the 3 seasons that I can think of him being in. Not necessarily a problem, just he's not in enough scenes. Like I said, I'm open to be B'd, but that's kind of on, that would be more on the quality of the makeup versus how much he got to. Because I have no idea what he's even doing on the ship. No clue. He's sometimes a bridge officer, sometimes not. Couldn't even tell you, which means he failed at his role of being an officer. Because I have no clue, right? What rank is he? I have no idea.
I think his rank's mentioned once or twice.
Yeah, I don't even know. And yeah, Linus and Saru would have been a great just like duo, just to see them act together.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been obvious. What do you guys think?
Yeah, B or C.
See if some scenes come up.
I think he should be elevated above Aurelio.
Oh, for sure.
Just because.
But then compared to Spock, it's like the difference in screen time and quality of character. There's a huge divide there, you know.
Yeah.
But then also we're doing Discovery standards, right? For Discovery, he's excellent. But that's not the highest bar, is it?
Well, I know it's the Disco Morn.
Yeah, kind of. It's funny, I don't even remember him being introduced. He just sort of was there one day, and then he was just there another day. It's a weird one. Yeah.
Was the first time he was introduced, but in the turbo lift where he sneezes on the guy from the Enterprise?
That's what IMDb and such is implying.
Yeah.
So it's a long time ago. I wish they did more with him, because they haven't over the years. I guess you can chuck him at a low B, but they'll certainly change other rankings slightly for potential and whatnot.
Well, let's.
Yeah, go for a B. So it's a very low B.
Yeah. Slot him in for B for now, and then again, contrast-wise, it might change later. But
like I say, contrast to the C. Memory officer is Spore Drive Operations Officer.
Right.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah. So therefore, actually, one of the most important people on the ship.
Right.
He's the guy that pressed the black alert button.
Yes.
Because everything else is, Detmer and Stamets. What other things you have to do on the bridge? Bleep. I'm just going to let you talk on this.
Lorca. The man, the myth, the legend. Fantastic actor, first of all. Super nice guy. Yes, Lorca was a Mirror Universe counterpart. But like I said, he was enough like Prime Lorca that nobody really noticed that there was an issue with him.
At least in wartime.
Yeah. Admiral Cornwell, who was in a relationship, didn't even really figure anything was bad until they had been together for a little bit afterwards. He's a good wartime captain. He's a good wartime captain and a very strict captain. He likes his drills, his, get everything down. He's a captain when he needs to be, and you got to give you gotta have that place where you're like, I wish I'd seen Prime Lorca. I think just acting wise and the amount of screen time he got, all of the dialogue and scenes he had written for him, he should be S tier in my opinion. Not because he's a good guy or a good captain or whatever, because I know that argument's going to be made, but because he's a fantastic actor and he did some really great stuff, even dying multiple times in one episode, which must have been really fun. And everybody's clamoring to see more of him. And we do want to find out what happened to the Prime counterpart. So I just think he's S tier. That's my argument.
I'm not even going to try and make an argument. You can put him as S, but then the Lady A has to be S too, because she's as good, if not better, in her role than he is. Without a doubt, the Lady A. Like, if Lorca's an S, she's absolutely an S. She sells being a president absolutely as well as he does being a captain, if not better. Mm-hmm. So move her up and you can put him there, because she's absolutely as good as him, if not better. So I'll accept that, but she should
character-wise or actor-wise?
Well, character and performance. She sells a president perfectly, and if he sells his very unique thing very well, I would never serve under him. Would be, he'd probably kill me. Probably kill many, but we know. But yeah, so put them both an S. I won't even that's as far as I'll go.
No, he was a good captain. I would serve under him. At least he's got his crew where he wants his crew.
It's just the bastard version of Jellicoe. Because he wants to be mean. But it would have been fun to... Well, I mean, there's 3 moments we said, this is the moment Prime Lorca could come back. Like, explicitly. In that cell in the universe, there we go. No. In this cell of the ISS. No. It's probably too expensive at this point. There you go. Ray has his thoughts as well.
Ray Ricks, £5. Lorca S tier. Thank you, Ray.
Yeah,
cool.
If it was up to me, I'd say an A, just because it had a good presence in the first season, but he would not get the secret sauce. Benjamin, it's gut and then negotiation. Compromises are made here.
Yeah, we very fundamentally disagree on Lorca and always have, so
yes.
I'll never be able to change your mind. So, this chick, whoever she is.
Yes, bridge officer lady who came in, and she's the one that's on the right. I guess she takes lines from Reese. She's the one that said in the last. This is from that episode. That's genius. She's that lady.
Yep. I don't know her name.
I'm not even going to try and Google it. She's an officer that's at least it's nice to know she's actually a 32nd century officer, because in season 3 they didn't take anyone on, so anyone new from that point onwards is new people. So she's actually a future person, born and bred, did their Starfleet, and it's funny when she says lines as if the Discovery crew would. It's like, but you were trained in the mega future. You know better than this, than to act like children. I mean, she's worse than Detmer because she got maybe 10 lines. So go F by definition of. I mean, she was there, and she wasn't that briefing scene with Raina, as far as I can recall. I think it was the other two, but not her. I think I don't remember her in that scene.
Wouldn't give her an F. I don't think that's fair. I'd give her a D at least.
Okay. I mean,
she had quite a few lines and moments in this season, so.
Yeah. Just don't know what she does, who she is, how old she is, what division she is. I know nothing.
There are more characters that deserve F than her, for sure.
Well, sure. But yeah, I guess it's the judgment of no character versus bad.
Even though we don't know who she is or what she does necessarily, we do at least like her.
Like her. It's true. Yeah,
we don't want her to die, and there are characters that you just don't really give a flying fuck about.
Okay, fair enough. We don't care. We care if she lives or dies. D. That's the bar that we're fair.
And Simon, if her name escapes you, then doesn't that define F? No, not necessarily.
No, you're right.
Because there's a lot of bridge characters that have been around that we don't necessarily know their names or what they do, but we like them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's enough argument for me. Although you can all move people, as we said, $5 super chat, and anyone gets
if you
moved.
fundamentally disagree with anything,
Yes,
you can...
and that will stay until the reshuffle right at the end, which is, we always save that.
All right.
Oh,
So
B for you, Johnny. That's why. That's super high. As close as Spock, potentially. Interesting. Ah, yes, Predator. I wanted to include her because she's technically in Discovery. She was nice. Yes, she was nice, I guess. A bit over the top, but it made sense. Rebellious, queen to be. The story didn't make any sense, nor did her appearance later, but that's not her fault. Makeup was good, vibe was good. I remember her. I wouldn't want to see her again necessarily, but, you know, for as dumb as the lines were, she did a good job acting them.
Yeah, totally agree with everything you just said there. Yeah, friend of Tilly's. Well, they became friends, I guess. And her planet makes dilithium, or artificial dilithium, something like that. Don't remember specifically, but a little bit of a brat in the short as well.
Oh yeah, you love to hate her unless you really love her, but that's sort of the point. I would be happy with a C.
Yeah, I think that's probably the fairest one.
Because she did a good job for bad stuff she was given.
Yes.
Yes. Sometimes. And the makeup's pretty good. I do like the vibe. Yeah. Yeah, Hypno, yeah. Bratty, like you say. Like, it made sense, but you probably need like a third appearance to kind of make it an arc, you know? Would have probably worked best. But yeah, okay.
Okay. Next. Ooh,
Season
Captain
5 Saru. Yes, this is end game Saru. There will be a pre-game Saru and a post-game Saru. So this is sort of like subset second half Saru. Your thoughts?
Became a much better character as a captain. I liked when they got rid of the whole I can sense fear and danger stuff. Season 1 was like Saru's been good across the board. We've been calling him out as one of their favorite things in season 1.
But that was a low bar, of course.
Exactly, yeah. But he got better as a captain, and I really do appreciate his the way he deals with Burnham and their friendship and kind of the advice he offers and the way he does so. It's very, very gracious and very eloquent in his words, and it makes a perfect ambassador. So the action Saru thing, don't know if I agree with, but still, good character. And Doug Jones' performance is, of course, fantastic.
Yeah, I think I still have to slightly demerit it knowing the contrast to how it started, because they're not the same character at all, and it's not just natural growth. It's we went from this obnoxious and actively antagonistic, overdramatic man baby to this old sage with wisdom, even though he's only been 2 or 3 years older. Now, yes, the Vahari happened. That's the big change, but it was too drastic a personality shift for me to quite justify it. But if you ignore that entirely, then take him as the old sage, which again he wasn't, but he was at the end. He's gentle, he's pleasant, he's just being Doug Jones, really, having met the man briefly, and he's just a nice, gentle giant. The makeup is obviously fantastic. He's not the smartest guy, and in fact his smart level diminished throughout the show, because he was the science officer.
The last episode. Until the last episode where he got clever and kind
of... that's cunning. I mean book smarts, because he was actually the science officer under Burnham in the Shinjo. He was a science officer, and then he went to command, and then never did any science again. And then he just then diplomacy is not science, so he became less smart but more wise, which is fine. Just again different. So I only want to give him an A because I think he's not based on how you still got to take some account of where he came from, the non-logical progression of the character. Especially going from lieutenant commander, whatever, to admiral in 6 years is daft. Because those things are still linked. You know, he's not just this new... But I still want to give him an A, because I think the performance is still very good. Even if I don't necessarily buy where he is there, the performance is still good if you take it as that abstract.
I'm willing to put him at A. I would argue A, S, or A tier. Like, either one would be fine for me. But Ray Ricks makes a good point. He also left Tilly in charge of the ship. He was a little bit too gracious at times because yes, wanted to give Tilly some self-confidence, but at the same time she was not ready for that. So
Yeah,
a bit of a mistake
he
as
makes
far as the
script,
captain's role.
well, because he was a science officer. He was never command tracking. The script writer, it's like Tilly. They thought she should be command. She did a terrible job at command. Then they thought she should be academy person. Like, they moved them throughout the jobs, but they didn't quite fit. He works well as an ambassador, not as an admiral or a captain. I never thought he was a good captain. He was an okay captain, but not a good captain. But if he went to ambassador in season 3, perfect. But people want him, captain the J, and it's like, no, I don't think there's a temperament for that.
Yeah. All right.
Pleasant enough.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the new Detmer. No, this is the new Oshigam.
Yeah, very poor OO replacement.
And I tried to find stills of her in the last episode looking up, and I couldn't find a single one. She only reports the scene. Least character for the three. The three newbies.
100%.
And kind of a blank face. I remember looking through episodes being like, not expressing much. Not even doing much with the dialogue. Like, I had a lot of something behind the eyes. She's just kind of there. And of course, as someone who's got bitched at by fans for having too much makeup, why has she got sparkly red eye makeup on the top that's clearly glitter? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm willing to put her in F because I don't know her really.
You still don't want her to die though, and that was the clarifier. So D.
I could have cared less though.
So you do want her to die?
No, I didn't say that.
No, I think that should still be the definition though, going between want to die and don't care.
Out of the three of them, the new bridge crew ladies, she's the one I didn't really care about or focus on. She was.
Yeah, but for example,
yes.
there's her and there's the bug guy. The bug guy be an F because they're nothing, right? She at least was a something.
Yeah.
So F is still the nothing category. So still a D, and contrast we can later. But I think it's still out of F, unless you guys disagree. Yeah, exactly, D, because we don't want her to die.
Perfect.
All
right. None.
Yes.
Yum. All right.
Again, pretty distinct change over the seasons, but still core to the character. Because some of these people I didn't put in as 2 because they evolved versus got changed. She evolved. Thoughts?
Oh, we got to learn about her family, so that's a bonus. Considering you don't learn about anybody in Discovery.
Yeah.
I don't have much else to say about her. Her character never really did much for me, and I do like that the look has changed now that she's got future tech, right? But honestly, she's kind of a shit security officer.
Sometimes
in this final season.
Well, that's like one of the top of security. But she's always been interesting to me because she's the only person on the Discovery crew that actually acclimated to the future. She went from the flag went from the Enterprise to the Discovery. That's a big change. And then she went to the future because F it might as well. And then she willingly left the ship to do the thing with the sea carrier, and then took an assignment with Starfleet Command away from Discovery, away from the blanket of the past and her people. Entirely fresh start. Got the different changed her entire way of breathing, which is a pretty radical change. Clearly different hair and different, she changed enough and felt very different in her last 2 seasons. She felt like she had to take on this giant mantle of responsibility, so she'd be calmer, slower, more considered, versus, I'm a tactical officer, yum. Like, the evolution is distinct. She's suffering at the pace of plot when it comes to being a bad security officer. But I would give her a solid B, because I think we learned more. She got way more than Spock and Linus, I forgot his name. I think her acting also was better than a lot of people on this list already. She just had a really strong. When she's giving it her all, she gave it her all. So I'm gonna give her a solid B.
I was gonna say C, and then Ray Ricks put in a £5 super chat for B. But the way you kind of described it there, I'm willing to put it up to B. Yeah.
I mean, the fact that I actually had things to say. Linus and anybody Linus and below, we never the difference in actual content is huge, and a good actor. I think she did a good job in the role.
Yeah. Also noticing you're missing Jet Reno.
I only got. Pretty sure I did get a version of her. Let's see.
See it. Ash Tyler.
Baby face.
You're going to count him as Vok too? Or is that separate?
I'm going to say no just because he only is Vodka for like 7 minutes.
I liked Ash Tyler, whatever his name was. I thought it was a good character. You saw it coming a mile away with the Klingon thing. But that being said, I did like his progression, his little stint he had with Michael there. And even Lorca taking him under his wing a bit. Just knowing that this was an actual Starfleet officer that was basically duplicated. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, I had 2 Winos in my folder, but none of them made the thing. Okay. Okay.
So yeah, he's a good character in my opinion. Even the way he kind of ended with the Section 31 thing. I guess I wish we would have got to see him again, and he might be in the Section 31 movie. Who knows? But I think the actor did a fantastic job, and he's a very, very pleasant person to meet. Very nice guy. So, thus he'll say Kailash.
Kailash for a cookie.
Yeah. No, he's great, and I do like the character as well. I wish it wasn't so telegraphed that he was going to be Vok, but it is what it is.
This was a funnier one. I almost put him in twice because this is the promo for season 1 art. But then look, if you Google him, then he has the later version of him where he's got the full beard, longer hair. He feels different because he did have that big change. But that's not character growth. That's we're butchering the season arc. He is part of the Brian Fuller arc, which then gets abandoned. So anything after that is like, we have to do stuff with him. What do we do? And it's funny. You said that about the relationship. Now putting him compared to Book, he feels like an abusive, toxic, bullshit situation. And Book's like Mr. Nice Guy. Like the contrast.
100%.
Like now that feels really horrible. It felt nice at the time that there's something they can get on with. But now like it's like, fucking hell, he was trash in that regard. And that's just bad writing. Just truly bad writing. But yeah, he was doing a lot of heavy lifting for that first season as an actor. But ran out of steam, didn't know where to go. That classic on contract, but what the fuck do we do with him? Section 31, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not as if we haven't watched his dialogue in a very long time to remember how good he was actually as the dialogue. My gut says high C, low B. Yeah, I guess I got a lot of conflicting things. I guess B. But there's so many problems with his character structurally and like what he does and doesn't do. But yeah, it'd have to be B, wouldn't it?
I was gonna say A. Not a band account throws in $2 and says S tier. He was mysterious intro into Section 31. For $2, you can't select the tier though, and we haven't decided where we're putting them yet. So.
Yes. S though, why? Because he feels like the biggest casualty of season 1's fuckery.
Oh, for sure. But I think he at least deserves an A because, like you said, he did a lot of the heavy lifting, as you said, in the as far as season 1 goes. He was the main crux of the season.
Season 1, I'd agree, but he doesn't do so much in season 2, and then he's obviously left behind. Like he's just there in season 2 for the most part. Whereas Saru, like he's there because he's so good, Like that's why I'm saying B because there's some good, there's some not so good.
Okay, no, I can see that. I'd actually be willing to capitulate and say B for that reason.
Probably, I mean, definitely a high B, right? Compared to Spock there, and like I say, a lot of the heavy lifting of just narratively good acting. He sold the tortureness of it, and I think I'll happily give him some credit for Vok as well. He did a good job as that character. I liked his silly performance. Yeah.
No, not a band account. If we can't decide, if we're like between A and B, and we can't decide between us, $2 will you can pick one of those two that we were arguing about.
Mm-hmm.
Can't just put $2 and have somebody thrown into S tier.
Yes. Oh, well, yeah. $5 is a move. Any is a decider. But yeah, if I'm with B, I think B's a fair.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with them in B. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Kind of forgotten half these people existed, to be honest.
Season 1 people, yeah. Gray. Which now, having finished the run, the purpose of the character was to be someone to talk to, and I guess an emotional core. But after, obviously, once they're gone, like, but really it's just Adira was a life raft, and they were young kids, and then as soon as Gray got a life, they moved on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of dickish when you break down the arc. It's like, I love you, we're inseparable, goodbye. I mean, really, because they had no plan there. I mean, cool look, right? Distinct. Being a Trill's cool. Sad start. Thoughts. I mean, it's a weird one.
Yeah, but good outcome, like you said. To become one of the Trill, like, the overseers, I guess. I don't know what they call them.
Yeah.
The Guardians or something.
Actually, that's a really funny point. We talked about that yesterday, in fact, how the arcs like closed when we felt them. They had one of the most satisfying closing arc modes. Just like, goodbye, I'm happy now, goodbye. That's actually one of the most satisfying closings. Yeah. Proper closure. They got the best role they wanted on the planet they wanted, and were alive. Mm-hmm. God, that's weird, isn't it? But importance to the plot, they were definitely a padding character. Because Adira didn't need them, really, having watched the full show, right? But then some characters come and go, right? They are there and then you don't talk about them again. But this was the central focus of that character, being the Trill, with all the previous Trill minds. But of course the Trill plot line got entirely thrown out. Adira Trill. I don't know on this one. Because they both left a big impression and then left absolutely no impression.
For me, it's a C. Okay. Less than Tyler Vaught, but more than Detmer, as far as impact goes for me.
Well, yes. I mean, it's more impact than everyone on C for sure, but more impact than Linus, for sure. A season crux.
No, because Saurian, it's very not really.
We did get one good scene though, like properly when they meet all the different Trill hosts and you see the different uniforms, and the music being phenomenal there. Like I say, super important in the microcosm, but not in the grand scheme at all. Linus, neither important microcosm or grand scheme, but just fun a character. I'm between C and a B. I think you could easily justify B for the amount of screen time, because screen time wise, Jesus, way more than any bridge crew officer, more than several put together, right? But impact of the overall show. What do you guys think?
And arguably, this might just clinch it for B. Arguably better character than Adira, and we see more of Adira.
I think Adira started more interesting, and then became a character of themselves.
Yeah. So I'm willing to put Gray at a B then.
Okay, low B.
Mm-hmm.
But I think interesting enough, and certainly one of the more memorable characters. Although at least in this version, I think once they became a real boy, Pinocchio, less interesting because they were alive. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, B. I think that's fair actually.
B looks like the category that might get the most. We couldn't predict this, could we? Going into this, this was a. Yeah.
You know what I was going to say about half the. I still don't know what I want to say about half these people.
These are fun, Stuart. I'm glad we did these.
I mean, sometimes they're fun. Jet Reno. I love the dry sense of humor. I just love her character. The delivery's so great. Black Licorice, can't agree with that. That's kind of awful. That should bump her down a tier. But overall, not enough of her. And I did appreciate the way that her character was like, the way we were introduced to her as being like basically keeping people alive with spare parts and showing us
horror show.
She's handy, and the fact that she basically goes on to just be a tinkerer, if you will. Not really an engineer, but kind of like we never had a chief engineer early on Discovery. Let's be honest.
Or a chief engine room.
Yeah. My biggest thing with her is we didn't see enough of her. But I did like all of her interactions. I just love that kind of dry sense of humor, and so yeah, she's up there for me.
Well, it's funny. Having watched the whole show, she's the Linus with twice as much dialogue. You know, like the same. Like you could have made both the same sort of role, just in different ways. They're comic relief. They're there to have a little moment. Generally, twice as much, but could have been a role, an actual role. But almost the fact they're more defined as a character, which they are. Which I think it's just the actress just being themselves. I don't think there's much acting going on. I think it's just them, which is fine. You know. But
I like Ryan Reynolds. He's Ryan Reynolds in everything he does.
Yeah, just much more.
Yeah.
So, but because in theory she should be super important to the ship, her absence makes the character worse, because then it's like, well, where are they? And why is they then popping up in the scene to talk to Stamets and leave again and make no real impact? Like, that's now worse for the character than to not be there. You know? So that I know season 3 was the pandemic, but still. But, you know, Tinkerer. I probably would have preferred them on Starfleet Command and be like calling home, like, we need a very radical engineering thing and they've been learning all the tricks, versus just pottering on the ship and not doing anything.
We need her in Starfleet Academy, being an instructor or a teacher. I think she'd be good for that.
Well, that's Boothby, isn't it? A less likable Boothby. I mean,
more likable Boothby.
Nah, Boothby's one of a kind. I mean, I'd go B, because again, not in it enough to be higher, and I still don't quite know what they do except just fix things. But they invented drones. That's pretty impressive, I guess, or not.
Yeah, I want to put the character higher, but at the same time, there wasn't a lot of screen time, which kind of limits that. So
shall we agree to a very high B?
I would, and then Ray Ricks comes in with 5 pounds and says she's an A tier.
There we go. That's why these are important, because you guys can override us. Yeah.
So we would have put it at B. He would have came in with a $5 and overridden 1 tier. That's why we did that, guys, just for the record.
Yes.
But I kind of like that she's in A, because I would have, as far as favorite characters go, for me, this would be a totally different list.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and we wouldn't agree at all. Well, not at all, but we would have very different. Yeah.
All right, who is next?
Yes.
L'Rell.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the proto form, because really it doesn't involve that much between the 2 seasons. It kind of does, but kind of doesn't. So it's an overall L'Rell. I mean, Mary's lovely.
She is.
I mean, that's annoying. But you know, acting wise, it's caricature-y, it's goblin-y, better in season 2. But I found the mother very contrived and dumb and just didn't work for me as a thing. But you know, the scene where they reveal Tyler in the brig is atmospheric, and she's creepy as all hell. The acid wound is interesting. The family stuff in season 2 is interesting. There's you know, but again, a giant casualty of season 1. And then being on Discovery doing the mirror stuff, but not really doing much, and then sort of, but also shagging Tyler is weird, but also not. But
first instance of Klingon breasticles on screen. Just saying.
Need some analgesic cream for all the rough skin. Well, you still wouldn't say that was a Klingon though, and we've seen the show, and that just doesn't look like a Klingon. Like it's really not a Klingon. Like it just isn't.
It's got to be a low ranking, and it's kind of sad considering.
But a good actor doing best with crap material.
Yes. Not F worthy, unfortunately.
Okay, the problem is the guy in C who's a Klingon, more one-dimensional, but did that job well. You understand it, more Klingon-y. This is far more intricate, which means far more room for failure. I want to give a pity low B because of the importance of the overall story and become Chancellor. And I think that will then change in contrast. But I want to give a low B And then
Yeah.
I think that's yeah.
I can agree with this.
Yeah.
Not a band account, $2 F tier for the mother of all Klingons. Again, not a band account. That's not how this works. If we had put her in D, you could have put in $5 to bump her to F. If we couldn't agree on a tier, then you would get to select between the two tiers that we were thinking, and the $2 would have worked. But thank you very much. We appreciate it.
But you can put in a 3 and then round up that up to a 5 and make said choice. That is an option.
But that would move her to A or C. You can't get her to F.
Well,
sorry.
indeed. Well, indeed.
But you can with the larger super chat. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The rules aren't complicated. All right. October.
Go.
Wilson Cruz is a nice guy. He makes a good doctor. He's got a very good bedside manner. I love that he kind of becomes a psychiatrist. He dies. That's a thing that happened. I love his interactions with Stamets. I think they make a good couple. I didn't appreciate the way his character was kind of treated, though, because he kind of got very lost in the shuffle. And this whole, I'm having a spiritual crisis that was never really resolved. He had a memory of Janal's to help with the last thing. It felt like it was going somewhere really epic and cool, and then fizzled out. And that's just the story of Discovery's writing, unfortunately. So he's a victim of the writing. I do love the actor, fantastic human being. Character-wise, though, a lot of potential. Could have been a really fantastic either psychiatrist, therapist, or doctor, and they kind of just spread the cards a little too far over the table. We weren't quite sure what he was doing at any particular time, and as a result, the character suffered. So, potential, but again, lost potential.
Yeah, I think he's one of the core backbones of gentle quality throughout all 5 seasons. He was always good. He was always trying. He always did what he was doing well, but you summarized it very well. He doesn't come across as the best medical doctor. He was just sort of doing it, but he wasn't living it. But as a psychologist, that really zoned in with him in his style of speech. But they kept swapping between roles, therefore didn't have Dr. Hillard or Pollard, whoever the lady was, have her with medical doctor, him come in and do the other things and write accordingly. Beautiful. You like they have Nurse Chapel and Mbenga. Do that, but for them, you could have had a really interesting flow. But again, with Burnham being the central character, there's not enough room for this. They did use a lot of time to kill him. Well, that took 4 seconds, sorry. And the rebirth was almost an entire season arc, in the sense of, like, they had to do multiple episodes just to bring him back. But that was the entire point of it. You know, having Mycelial make that lady to show to Tilly, and then they go into it and then become Crash. Like, that's all just to bring him back. They regretted killing him so much and had to spend millions of dollars on CGI budget to bring him back, just for him to be back. Like, it felt like a mistake, and they had to undo it with millions of dollars, right? It was not clever, you know. It was just we have to do it in a big way. And then he was just sort of back. And he said he spent half a season not knowing what he wanted to do, and he got better when he went back to Starfleet, which was good. I think the time jump is what jogged him being back into being good. Yeah, like I say, he was probably the most commonality of good in the season, and a few moments of excellence, but a lot of just sort of being there, in a good way. I would go no lower than a B. I don't know if he deserves an A, but I could be convinced.
I was thinking B, so I'm not going to try to convince you of A.
High B. I mean, he makes other people in B look not B.
Yes.
But there's obviously now a gradient in B. But I don't think he hasn't got enough big moments to be A. Again, compared to Saru and... yeah. Yeah, he doesn't stand out. Yeah, he's no Crusher, he's no Pulaski, he's no Bashir. He's certainly the least interesting of the Doctors.
But he does have, like I said, a good bedside manner, and somebody I'd want taking care of me for sure, because he seems to really care. But yeah.
Yeah, again, great strength, and He does Deanna's job better. I buy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Next up, we've got.
That was the other picture. Okay, cool. That was why I was there.
Okay. I already talked about you. Get out of here. Jet Reno. We did have a Jet Reno.
I told you.
But there's no small picture for it. That's why I didn't think there was. Okay. I already talked about her. Get out of here. Get the hell out of here.
I guess I... Ooh,
Kovic.
Yeah, I got this one. Kovic, yeah. I mean, he's the classic J.J. Abrams mystery box, but with a mildly logical conclusion. He's far less interesting knowing the conclusion, because he's just acting mysterious for the sake of it. But you can tell he's done it for so long that that's just who he is. Like, mystery guy.
Yeah.
I'm the mystery guy, right? Very low key. It's almost a one-note performance, but that's why the little unique bigger moments stand out more. He's flat, but you sense all the underneath the flat. I mean, I remember when he finally made an impression, like a proper impression, was when he was talking about the time agent with Colbert, and he was saying words, and he kept talking, he was revealing. But he's a very bland character, right? But that's why he's interesting. Right? He's a strange one. What do you think?
I think we should move Colbert to A because of George Mangram's $5 super chat.
Oh my god. Okay.
So we're going to do that first. But yeah, Kovic, fantastic character idea. He was much better as a mystery, but he's one I would want to know the answer to, so I'm kind of glad we got a resolution for that. And it's not awful that he's Daniels, honestly. I would like to learn more about him and his life, how his time traveling went. But yeah, I think well portrayed as well. He's got that G-Man kind of Men in Black vibe going on, and I think it's perfect. Even the glasses. Somebody asked me what his glasses once. He goes, I just like the way they look. I just love his attitude towards things, you know?
Space tie.
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely a gimmick character.
Yeah.
But it's a good gimmick. That's the irony about it.
Yeah, and the payoff was good enough, pretty good.
Yeah. But is a gimmick enough to win against so many other things? Because he got a decent amount of the lines. I don't know if I want to give him an A. Definitely a B. But is the gimmick enough to make him an A?
I want to make him an A.
Okay.
Because I think the mystery gimmick was good, and I wished it would have been a little bit something better. Like he is a temporal agent.
More, you know.
Yeah. So I personally I'd want to do an A for that. But...
Yeah, I would agree to an A, but with the clarification, he's a gimmicky character, and therefore gimmicks can do well. Because, you know.
Yeah.
Unless you guys disagree, right? I could see being annoyed by him, and I could see loving him because he's so unique, right? I can see both other sides of a fence because he is different. I mean, it's definitely different.
Yeah. All right. Boom. Colbert again. That's another Colbert.
Same picture. Maybe I cloned this one versus the other one. Don't know.
Talked about him already. Get out of here.
Saru's sister. She was on a short trek and an episode. She learned how to fly a battle fighter confidently into a war thing in 2 weeks. So, hey, very smart lady.
She's a Kelpian, and that's fine.
Yep. But do you want her dead? That's the question, Stuart.
I could care less.
D. Or is the fact that they once believed she could fly an alien spacecraft to space battle dumb enough to make her an F?
I was thinking F personally, but
I think you'll argue F with stupidity of plot because it's not believable. It's not believable. Yeah, first F. There we go. Sorry, sister.
Bye. Out of here. Sorry.
I almost forgot existed. I'll be honest, given he was a singular, and then gone.
Good to see him portrayed by another actor. I think this guy did a pretty good job with the role. That's all I gotta say. I think he did all right. spark my imagination with something, because I think he did fine as Sarek.
He's no Mark Leonard.
That's true.
Who gave a real charm. The problem is, this guy is so notable from other roles that I see his face and I think, oh, it's that guy from TV.
Yeah.
I don't see Sarek. He is fine at the role. He has the appropriate level of detachment, but he's in so many bad episodes with so many bad plot points that it's such a, I'm sorry you were given that shit. I certainly assumed he was going to be in Stranger Worlds to give him some good stuff, because that would make sense.
Might still be.
Might still be. Yeah, for sure. Harder to do, of course, but would make sense. Give him some really strong lines. But looking at this list, he's just a poor imitation of Sarek with bad lines overall.
So you're thinking C?
I'm thinking C, yeah.
Yeah, same.
I definitely don't want him dead, because I need to be Mark Leonard.
I think that's the new metric.
Yeah. He's just, in contrast, he's just, he should have stood out as being really good, and he really didn't. And he's in quite a lot of stuff. Amanda was better. She, I thought, nailed her role significantly better than he did.
She was great, yeah.
And I think she had less lines, too. Yeah, good actor, voice of potential. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he definitely, not a band, he definitely links into the Michael sister of Spock. Like, that is so intertwined. And that was a bad choice.
Yep. Adira, I don't want to get hate for this, but the character just never went anywhere. It's always the same kind of stuttering, stammering delivery. This mentorship thing with Tilly didn't really hit very well. There weren't enough moments of it. Being the daughter or the
person.
Child of Culber and Stamets didn't really pay off.
Thought it was going to. Didn't.
Again, a lot of wasted potential, unfortunately. As the character, I guess I hate any time she's on screen. Let's be honest.
Which is funny because they're just Tilly. Like, ostensibly, just young Tilly.
Not a band account, $5. D for fake Sarek. He doesn't deserve higher. Okay. We can bump him down.
Okay.
Yeah, but Adira just was wasted potential. Apparently had a trill, a symbiote, and that never went anywhere. Not even like mentioned again. Like they forgot it existed. The relationship with Gray was fine. I love the way it kind of ended. Like they both kind of agreed, like, I'm happy where I am. And again, wasted potential. Like there could have been a lot. There could have seen a lot of growth in this character. We just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Never got the self-confidence, even though Rainier kind of put his faith in her on the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those situations, right? So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's strange because in Googling pictures, introduced as slightly more kick-ass Earth Force agent person, put in right away, interesting character, went with the Trill thing, had a lot of narrative push, and then none. Like at that point, just remove them from the season. Like they don't need to be in season 4 or 5 then. If they're not adding anything and they're not going to get lines, and yet they're in theory a far higher character than any bridge crew, but getting no lines, just don't bring them back. Like they didn't do anything enough, and you already have Tilly, and they became a non. Basically they peaked early and then became a little dribble of non-character. And like you say, the Trill thing wasn't even mentioned once, and that definitely deserves a demerit because just that was a broken concept that didn't go anywhere. But I like the original appearance, the first version, the first bits.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But yeah, just becoming the bumbling, I don't believe it as a performance. Tilly does it better.
Tilly did it way better, yeah.
But also different, but kind of like the Gen Z youth person portrayal. It's not very deep. I guess low C, because D is mean, because the first season arc was pretty good, but demerit for the season 3 should get a B, but season 4 and 5 should get a C. So round down to a C. I think is very fair.
C is fine.
Yeah, strange. Just didn't need him in the season. Honestly, just could have just not brought him back. That would have been fine.
Yeah. All right.
Mm.
Kovic again.
Kovic again.
Keeps showing up.
Villainous season 4.
Doctor. I can't remember his name. Anyway. He was a pretty good baddie, even though he wasn't really a baddie. He had good intentions. Let's put it that way. At least he thought he was doing the right thing. I thought he was a very likable guy, but at the same time had that duplicitous side to him, and I think that was portrayed very well. So I think he did a pretty good job. Yeah.
You know, it does help when you give a character some focus and dialogue and screen time. They get more developed. Shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, of course, I will say, first 65% of the character, really great. Last 10%, not good at all. And then I remember the flashback was dragged out to the nth degree. But substantially good character with a lot of good stuff and a few dark spots. But I thought one of the more compelling characters they introduced, and an interesting version of a scientist, and from obviously the Pleasure Planet, and that's a small thing, and you know, High B. I mean, makes people in B, Pro B. For me, it beats everyone in B. I don't think it deserves A, unless you think it deserves A, because as a character, an actor, really high compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say B, or were you gonna maybe tease into A?
No, I was going to say B at the highest.
Okay. Because they had more screen time than Kovic or Tig Notaro. So, like, but less fun. But then some fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, easily high B, possibly A if someone's really inclined to. But they were a giant part of the season, so it makes sense.
And Ray Ricks, 5 pounds. C for Adira, the actor is like 28 and the character acts like a 16-year-old.
Okay. Yeah, it was a bit weird.
It's the same guy again.
Okay.
Did you put duplicates of all the big pictures in here?
Didn't try to. No.
Okay.
Yes, Primarch. Man, the villain of season 4, 5. Your thoughts? It's Locke's uncle, Stuart. We've watched him for 10 weeks.
I know. We only watched him for like 2 weeks. Sure. It was all right. I have nothing to say. He wasn't really great as a villain. Just like a spoiled brat.
Yeah. Hey, that's a character. You know what? Give him a D, because the fact that you summarised a character in him is more than you got for 2 of the 4 in D. So, and I actually didn't want him dead. Ironically, he could have been more. Been fine with me. I just want to put him in there because he was like one of the, in theory, the primary villains of season 4. So it's just a bit funny, but.
Leon?
No. And the fact I googled him,
I knew his name earlier today.
Villain season 2. I'm trying to find it. Season 2.
What was his name? Leland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A man you love to hate. He's well performed.
Yes.
But you know the idea that again from the writing, the fact that they could transfer the data of Zora, while they say they can't transfer data 2 episodes later, but they do it via a wireless little bubble thing.
Yeah.
It's that easy. At least he wasn't a Borg. Because that'd have been dumb. You know what?
Yes.
I'm going straight to C because he's better than everyone in D.
I was going to say C or D, but yeah, I was looking at D before I said it.
Straight better everyone in D. And I preferred him when he wasn't being this version, when he was just normal him, because he had more nuance, of course.
Yeah.
I say nuance means a season 2 nuance. There's not that much nuance in season 2, but some.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I've got one, Stuart.
Go for it.
Battlestar Galactica. She played one of the Cylons. She was one of the. She's assistant to the president of the 12 colonies. She shacked with Boltar a couple of times. I can't remember what happened to her at the end of it, because at the end of the show. No, she's in 2 episodes, I believe. She's 3. She's meant to be in more, but then they lost their showrunner and threw all their scripts, and so they killed her. How did they kill her? She got mauled to death for no reason because she was dumb. And then they brought her back at the end because that was how they meant to bring her back as well. Bitch for the sake of being a bitch.
Yep.
But I mean, clearly she was shagging Lorca. Clearly, well, without a shadow of a doubt, and clearly he picked her because he loved to shag the evil her and knew she was a real B-word. The most henchwoman he could have picked in both universes was this.
She was
woman.
the exact same in both universes.
Yes. Which I think we even said in retrospect, was she meant to be the mirror? That she also would have been fine. Would have been absolutely as a play. But yeah, it's just funny because she's a reasonably known sci-fi actor, of course, but be killed after 3 appearances for no real reason is just weird. We talk about Tyler being the casualty of season 1. She's actually the casualty of season 1. But did she get more scenes than Detmer? No, not quite.
No, she's an F for me.
Okay.
Not just because of I hate her, but because of everything you just said.
I will give you that one, and I will pluck a chip from the I get something later. That.
Oh, for sure.
There you go. That's fine. Oh yeah, the other Kenneth performance. This was Cole's uncle.
He's just gonna get a C, isn't he?
He's
memorable enough.
Yeah, although he looks a bit silly now compared to the season 2 Stranger World Klingons.
Yes.
Just shove hair into a shitty mask. But better. God, we thought that was good at the time, didn't we? How
yeah, it's more Klingon. Yeah.
He's only in 3 episodes. Or 1 episode. I'm going to give him a D for lack of screen time and forced Klingonness for the sake of it. And 1 episode. And no arc.
D it is.
Good armor, though.
Sure.
Okay, you got this one, Stuart. Good luck.
Oh, good God. Okay. All right, let's see what we pull out then.
Okay.
Tarina. Fantastic. Perfect representation of a Vulcan. I kind of agree with Sam, though, that she should have got more to say in the last episode, which was her actual wedding. But honestly, well portrayed, and I think she would made a very good president for Vulcan. And just, I kind of like the fact that her and Saru got together. So she got some good stuff to sink her teeth into, and I think I've seen her before in something else. She's a Canadian actress. Not that long ago that I saw her too. Anyway, yeah, I think she's fantastic. So.
Yeah, she's definitely they cast real frickin' well, and they obviously wrote more because they cast her so well. She has less to do thinking back than I think we thought at the time. I'm trying to think, but she's a nice, gentle, always there character. Yeah, and that works well. She nails the subtlety, but also you can have some bold emotions. I mean, Sarek was certainly a dick. He had the dick emotion, right? You can do that, Vulcans, and she played it very well. And to have a love arc that felt mostly earned, despite being super low rent in terms of that screen time, was that's just the actors, right? That's just, they worked, and they made that one of the last scenes of the entire goddamn show. She got more screen time than the present Federation, but the present Federation got more variety of things to do. But I think she had better. I don't know. I think I want to give her an A just because she nails the role. She has so much to do, and she has an arc. What more do you want from a character?
I want to give her an S.
What did I say?
think she A.
I meant S. Sorry.
Oh,
In my head, I
yeah.
said S. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think she nailed the volcanisms.
sorry.
She had a great story that culminated in marrying Saru. Yeah, I think it was just everything was kind of on point for this character.
I said S in my head, and she makes everyone at A look worse because she just nailed it, right? She's that layer above. Yeah, the two politicians, the two pencil pushers.
Yeah.
Yep. Fun. Oh, do you want to take this one, Stuart? Now this is late season Tilly, because there's two, I believe, for Tilly, because she does change radically.
Yeah, I think season 1 and 2 Tilly was the best, and season 5. See, she got a lot better. She did really dip for season 3 and 4 for me. Just they didn't write her as well. I've always liked Tilly. I got kind of a personal bias on that one, but I know there's going to be, this is your pluck one chip out of the thing, so go for it. Destroy my dreams.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, so if this is the season 4 to 5 Tilly, although that changes, I think I'll just take, I don't know. So she's a science officer that's not a science officer. She's actually an engineering officer. She's talk backy that she would never get into Starfleet, really. She never graduated. She never did the academy course to finish her. She's the luckiest person ever. She didn't graduate.
Yes.
Got to skip everything, and because she's so special and one of the 100 people from the past, she has to skip all the final training and go straight into a position of high authority despite not really earning that in the abstract. And a couple of specialist missions, being a small cog, does not generate that level of experience for you. Had she stayed on course to be the engineer character, that could have been really interesting. But she went from being engineer to science to bridge officer to command training to I'm leaving to sort of second in command, but not. She's having the most roles of the ship. She's way more in season 5 than she has any right to be, but she's fine in season. She's nice. She's just sort of there. Yeah, I just wish she didn't talk back as much and showed a bit less disrespect, because she wouldn't be in the role. But I guess she's also used now to talking to children, cadets, that are going to be show disrespect. So therefore,
we are doing 2 Tillys.
Well, indeed. I mean, this one's decent, right? But you know, I mean, B, I guess. Decent, but convoluted and just sort of there.
Yeah.
Kind of like Troy. She's just there sometimes. She does some useful things, but she's kind of there.
Mm-hmm.
And say not what she was hired to do. But she, to commend the actress, she can do. Having met her, and she's not like the character. She's not bubbly in the same way. She's not friendly in the same way. She's far more standoffish and quiet. Super unlike the character. The fact that she's that nice is good, because she can do quick dialogue, technobabble, friendly and bubbly very well. That's not how I've met her. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. We got Pike, season 2 Pike.
Dark and short hair.
Yeah.
Which is weird now, isn't it?
It's the favorite thing, but a lot of people say Discovery season 2 is my favorite because of Pike.
Yep. Despite everything else, that's it. One thing, yeah.
It saved the show a little bit for a lot of people. And yeah, his moments were some of the best moments in that season for sure. And he got his own show with better hair. I mean, yeah, I have an idea where I want to rank him. But
what did he do in the season, though?
He saved Discovery. He saved the show.
No, in the show.
Oh, he showed them what a good captain could be, because they were so used to Lorca in season 1, and that really bolstered the crew's confidence to still not speak up or stand out because they're background characters.
Except the one scene we asked everyone their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's the definition of just a good captain, despite other people talking down to him constantly. He's just a good captain, a good guy. They didn't punch him too hard in the face or the nuts. He's just a good captain, and with a charisma and charm to not be overbearing, to then get a show. I mean, Spock didn't get a show; he got a show because he's just a good captain. He's definitely obviously better in Stranger Worlds.
Yeah.
And I just don't, he looks much younger and weirder in blue. What else? What did he do in the season? He's just captained, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's really it. And he had dealt with his own morality. That was decent. I mean, for Discovery, I would say an A.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you would put him as S. Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Oh, Ray Ricks. I was going to put him at S personally. You said A, and then Ray Ricks put us in 5 pounds to move him up to S tier anyway. So
because there's enough Discovery season 2 bad writing.
Yes, season 2 has its problems
to affect the S-ness of it versus Tarina and who just benefit from good writing, right? That would have been my clarification to that. But yeah, I mean, there you go. Reyes Est. He's Est the P.
This Bajoran pilot lady.
My favorite of the 3.
Yes,
because she
gets the most line and the most personality. The most lines, the most personality, honestly.
Yep. I like her. I guess she was the pilot. It's just really that one scene in the briefing room that sold me on her. Honestly, she just owned that line. I mean, yeah, and a good use of it could be any race, any alien. Yeah, Bajoran. Doop, 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 done.
So she's C tier. Good.
Yeah, she's C tier. Yep.
Moving on.
Yep. Yep.
Rainer.
Oh, have fun, Stuart.
Again, bringing back the Lorca kind of vibes of a good captain, good commander. I love that he kind of got stripped of his rank and then also had to earn the respect of the Discovery crew because he had a different command style. And I think every episode he had some character growth, except for the last episode, unfortunately. But honestly, a fantastic character. I would love to see a show based around him. He is, to me, he's very much like Lorca was, and how I imagine Prime Lorca would be written. But it was great to have him along for the ride, and it's a shame he only got him for 1 season. But that being said, he had a big part of this season, although not really. When you look back, some of the episodes, he was very minimal, but at the same time, he was always learning and adapting, and I really appreciate that. So I think Rainer's great.
No, actually, I love that as a statement. He is what they would write Prime Lorca as: abrasive but fair.
Yes,
often
100%.
right, but willing to accept being wrong because he's just too. That's actually really, really apt. That's why he's just more likable and more relatable and more friendly, but still has that hard edge and a reason for that hard edge, both the burn and his planet's history. Definitely a strange one in that we had such implied setup expectations in the first 2, how he'd butt heads with Michael and have a choice. None of that happened.
No,
like not even a second of it. He entirely became consumed in Michael's leadership style, her leadership, her crew, and Tilly would even take swipes at him, right? Like he got entirely taken by that, and he didn't ever fight back. Now his arc is still good. It's just simpler, easier, and more basic than we thought. And given he'd been a captain for potentially 20 or 30 years, it's odd to sort of need to be learned a lesson about whatevering. But hey, got him out of his rut, I suppose. And I certainly see him getting. I certainly see he gets captain again after this mission on a different ship, a different mission, fresh start again, and he continues for another 30 years. Absolutely no problem. Really good line delivery, really steals scenes, especially the first half. His time bug episode, that's his best, I think, because he's just the best balance of the abrasive and the not. That he's really, really good in. And he's on a lot of time. Yeah, really solid character, but not what he could have been, but not a bad thing. I would give him a solid A, because in 1 season he did what Saru did in 5. And he's certainly better than Culber or Stamets and Tignataro, but I don't think he lived up to the S tier, because he's still one note. It's just a more broad note, but I think he deserves a strong A. For really the actor just kicking ass, because it's just the lines aren't necessarily the most interesting. What do you think? Where was your gut going?
I was going to say A.
Yeah.
I didn't think we had enough screen time with him to give him an S tier. Like I said, if it was my personal list, he would be S tier. But just because I really love that kind of character.
But I mean, he didn't get the arc though, like the proper big
exactly.
arc. That's what I mean. That's why it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
But good. I mean, good for them for building a character last season that's that strong. That's how the writers finally got there. That's the point, right?
Yeah, and yes, George, yes, another Cylon.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Number 1.
Just the version from Discovery from her 3 appearances. Just to be clear.
I think she's more like number 1 there than she is in Strange New Worlds. But we only saw number 1 from the cage. But I think she was emulating more of the cage deal in Discovery.
That's actually Provo, and the one thing was the hair. The hair is so much more 60s, and yeah, it's a really good point.
And she was very to the point. She was very an officer doing her job. She liked hot sauce, but she was also like very by the book. And I think that's probably the face she puts on for people she's not familiar with. So that's why in the cage and Discovery season 2, we kind of get that more of a cold shoulder vibe from her. Now that we're seeing in Strange New Worlds, I think it's like people she's more comfortable with. So I kind of like her better than in season 2 of Discovery than I do in Strange New Worlds, is what I'll say. Feels more like the character to me.
She's probably only in maybe 7 minutes of screen time, so there's very little of her. She's very much a guest star. Like I agree with you in the sense she's much more similar, but I wouldn't want to watch a season of this woman in this role. So
no, me either. There's not much there, but that's all we got from the cage, and she was emulating that beautifully.
Yeah. Well, exactly. So they made her into something more interesting, but I don't think she it was a big get for the role, of course, with the potential, but she's in so little, and she does almost nothing. You know.
Mm-hmm.
My gut would be high C because she doesn't do anything. And that's a clarifier.
Yeah, I can see that.
I could be convinced for a low B, but there's some really ooh and B, and she doesn't quite. If someone has thoughts there, then please put in there. But I'm just like, she's in so little of it.
I was thinking low B, but
someone convince us. Like I say, I'm torn.
B or C, guys. Because she is different in Discovery than she is in Strange New Worlds.
And because at the start she's got a presence in the first episode, and then it comes again for a scene, which is this scene, and then the last episode she's just there to say dialogue, action dialogue, right? There's no actual character just there. But she has potential. But I very close to my gel. Yeah. This is where those $2 come in, guys.
Yeah, this is where $2 can get rid of either B or C. I'm happy with either one, honestly, but she just isn't on screen enough for a B. I kind of agree.
Like I said, I wouldn't want to watch a season of her. And she's very obnoxious in the short track. That's just season 2 bad writing, right? That's not her fault.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It's a very much because this version of her, Stranger Worlds, her way higher into the quality of character. Someone voted.
All right. Well, you actually kind of convinced me to move her down because of that, but.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put her at a C.
Yeah.
Stop being convincing.
No.
Oh, perfect. Stamets.
Oh, your potential one liaison that never was.
See, I liked Stamets in season 1. I like the kind of asshole, like standoffish scientist guy.
Saw a mirror.
But I did, yes, 100%. It's weird though because this is one of those characters that started out really great for me. A lot of people didn't like his attitude, but that's fine. And then I think just went swirling, and just lost everything that the character was, to the point where he was woefully lacking in the last season, to the point where even the character himself is Scientific luminary? Seriously? That's it? It's kind of art reflecting life. Um, a lot of potential for the character, and again, just lost opportunities, unfortunately. I wish there would have been something that would have brought him back up at the end of season 5, but I've never had a problem with Stamets. Some of his acting choices I find a little bit odd. He blinks a lot, and he does a lot of kind of weird expressions. But I think as a character goes, season 1 and 2 are the best for me from Stamets. And then when we get the tardigrade DNA thing, and he's kind of misplaced in time, those are some of the better episodes for him. And yes, he gets to do that like twice with the Mud episode, and then this last season. Well, those are good episodes for him.
Well, and the irony is what you just said there, unwittingly, is that when he's not doing his role as engineer and given dialogue around that, he's his best.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Because then he's able to be sort of the actor can do more in more work. Like his scene with Rainier is great.
Yeah.
Like in that time bug episode, just that's not at all like engineer Stamets or tardigrade Stamets or spore drive Stamets. That's not season 1 at all Stamets. That's the actor doing a really good humanizing job in his own sort of gruff exterior. It works really well. He's again another casualty of season 1. Literally wasn't the character originally. Good actor, but not. I don't know if what's his real name?
Anthony Rapp.
I don't know if he's that varied an actor, but not everyone is, right? You might have him just for their vibe. I don't know. I've never seen anything else. I don't know if he can do loads more things like Tig Notaro. I think she's like that's her thing, which is fine. But you know, Spore Drive became less and less of a thing, even though it was always a thing. And you know, he was married to Hugh, that also played a part and then didn't play a part. He was a father figure and then wasn't.
Yes, exactly.
All these things, and none of them stuck. Not a single plot line stuck on him, because he was just sort of there by the end, as you already said. He easily could have left the show in season 3, very happily, and then brought back as an expert occasionally. And if you look at his scenes, certainly they're all just solve the problem. But he's not an engineer; he's a biologist. Doesn't mean he can do all the giant science problems that they give him, all the engineering problems they give him, but he does anyway. So he's a broken character, but he is the most interesting characters, and one of the only ones that stayed mostly consistent, and that you see here to here. I see the path. I see it. It might be great, but I see it. I'm going to give him B by definition, but his, like with Adira, he fizzles out so hard that any anus that he had, nope.
Oh, wow. Any anus he had has been graded into B. I see where you're going. We'll put him in B. We'll just leave it there. Hopefully Anthony Rapp never watches this.
Oh, God.
Put him at B with Tilly.
Whew. I'm okay.
Are you?
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Ooh, Admiral Cornwall.
Yep.
To me, she's an S right off the hop.
Mm.
I think she's a really good character. She's not a bad admiral. She has a relationship with Lorca as well. She's also very to the point and direct without being a bitch. I mean, she can push that bitchiness at times, but it's an admiral authoritative kind of vibe as opposed to just being a bitch for the sake of being a bitch. And I really appreciate that. It's hard to do that for that kind of authoritative admiral figures, and I think she played it really well. She was also super friendly and nice, and she's somebody that I missed when she was gone. Plus, we met the actress, and she's fantastic as well. So, yeah, for me, she's going to be up there. But anyway, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, she's ironically the opposite to what we said a few times now. She's a casualty of going to the future, but she's the biggest... The reverse of a casualty. She's the biggest positive point as a... So far, I think we've found character-wise of season 1 and 2. She's a good character. She's well acted. She has a pretty broad range of scenes. You genuinely feel sad when she dies. It's a really stupid death that's unmotivated in many ways and is ruined by the door. But the death part is great. So she is one of the bright spots of that season, I think, and she's one of the better written parts of those 2 seasons, despite the script, right? And she would have been fascinating to have seen back. I mean, she easily could have been an alien in season 4 and 5, and the season was better for it. I don't remember that many scenes, but she's memorable in them. But I think she still suffers from story, so I will happily say an A. She's a bright spark, but she misses the better writing and the more screen time of an S character, which those all have. But I think she absolutely is above Kovic. And for her season, she is really, really top tier.
Yeah, A for Admiral.
Yeah. She's one of the few like, oh, did you have to get left behind?
She's an admirable admiral. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
I was working out which version of him to use, and I thought Discovery Uniform was more appropriate. Evil Giorgio. I'll jump on this one because I know you love her. You have things to say. Hitler. Evil Hitler. Colorblind.
Yeah.
Very one-dimensional for a lot of the show. It's just kind of there to linger over scenes. I really liked her in the Mirror 2-parter because she got to be good in a bad world, and that was really interesting for the actress to do. But a lot of the scenes, she's just there to chew scenery and be a bit mean, but also still be a hero, and that line was never well done, in my opinion. I'm sure she had fun in the role, but she's just kind of there. I'm never a fan of this character, nor the performance, nor the fact that we let Hitler be that important in our government. Like, she massacred billions and probably trillions. She ate people. You don't give someone like that. Like, you don't. That's not. Gene would be very unhappy with this as a plot point. Your thoughts?
Massive bitch. I don't like her.
Oh, meant to be.
I don't like, and I don't like. I agree with you. Like, they wouldn't have put her in. Here's the keys to Section 31. Unlimited power behind the scenes, essentially. How it's going to play out in the Section 31 movie, I have no idea. Her character has changed and learned to be better, I guess. But I think they just did that because they didn't want to lose a high quality or high caliber actress. So I'm not a big fan of the character. She's fine. She's fine as what she is, kind of developing into somebody that maybe realizes she made some mistakes. But yes, she was an awful human being. So, yeah.
Yeah, I never thought the acting was amazing either. Like, especially compared to other better actors.
Yeah.
And we are going to look at the Captain Giorgio, the 2-episode performance. I think certainly screen time wise, one of the most of the first 4. Was she going 3 or 4? I can't recall. Once she was gone, I didn't think of her again because she played so meaningless of a part, really, that she's gone. And funny, Michael Burnham got a lot better when she left as well. Weird that. Screen time and presence has got to be a B, but quality of writing and morality of character, I'd say a C. So that they're two different things to judge there. Where were you going to go?
I was going to put her an A just for her amount of screen time and the arc that the character had. So,
I mean, go for a B then, but she's such a horrible character to get an A.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
And not a lot of depth. At least Lorca, he didn't ever say his welcome. He got to be one-dimensional in many scenes because and then he died, right? She kept going. But she was the best by the end.
And Ray Rick says she's an Oscar-winning actor or winner. There aren't many better actors. Yeah, but for this role, I don't think it was a fantastic role for her.
You are right, Ray, but it's the same thing as Michael Chabon for Picard Season 1. He was a Pulitzer Prize winning author. Doesn't mean he's always going to write Pulitzer Prize winning work.
It's not in their wheelhouse necessarily.
So she won an Oscar for that particular piece. Doesn't mean every performance she does is always an award-winning piece. How many actors have never won an award that big and are amazing actors? Are you saying therefore they are not as good as her? For that one thing, right? Often you can luck out on an amazing role. It's like Short Round, right? He won that award for his film recently, but was he that good an actor in Indiana Jones? He was a kid, but he, age, time, and different roles. And it's like Burnham. Burnham was better in later seasons because she was written better. So it doesn't mean, just because you won something once. Vance S.
Yeah, easily.
I mean, yeah. He'd probably be my top S actually if I was having to rate the S's. Mostly because of season 3, he's like S'ing every scene, but I'd say he's the top S there if I had to vote.
Yeah, he's a fantastic character and actor.
Just such a nuanced performance, so much humanity and vulnerability,
authority and
strength, and a family man, and he could smile in parts, and he could be dramatic, and he could sacrifice himself, and he rocked the uniform, rocked the beard. Yeah, I mean that's like, that's a quick wow, Jesus. Sorry, it's true though. Bryce,
yeah, nice guy. Really nice guy, and character-wise came off nice too for the 4 seconds of screen time we heard him talk. Mm-hmm. He's going to have to probably get a C, unfortunately. George Mangrum, $5. All hail Her Most Imperial Majesty, A level. Okay, we'll bump her up to A.
James Knight, she was a main character in the Stark universe. That shows up. No, she wasn't. That was a different actress. I think it was Ming Na Wei. I think she's a great actress. I think she's better than Michelle Yeoh personally.
Oh yeah, I think I would agree. Anyway, Bryce.
Nothing against him at all. Happy C.
Yeah. Nice guy. The actor's really nice. We talked to him in Vegas.
I wish he said more.
Yes, he was a Trekyards fan too.
And he's the sort of guy that you always felt he committed to his very small lines.
Yeah.
Because not everyone does that with, shields at 30%. Like that, but he committed and it felt,
Arium. D for me.
D.
She never really got the...
Well, she's
got the one episode.
She's also not a Star Trek character. She's a robot. She isn't, but she's not... As soon as I see her, it's like, it's a Star Wars character. She doesn't fit in at all.
Yeah.
Sorry, no. And I couldn't, apart from the literal description of her character that we saw in the one episode, there's no character. I think it's like, because of Discovery, the last one, she's like third in command, I guess? I think they said that. It's like, okay.
Yeah. This guy.
Bryce replacement, yeah.
I don't know his name.
Seems nice enough. He seems like the inexperienced kid.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the energy. But
it's a D.
But he doesn't read Hales as well as Bryce did.
Yeah, exactly.
But he feels like Bryce picked him out of a lineup of cadets. And it's like, we played Calto one time. Do you want to jump in? Do you want to sub in? Yeah, I mean, a D, but not for lack of. I like him pleasant enough, but yeah, he wasn't given enough. He ain't no C. Oh, she was nice. she had some lines. Just like Jet Reno, where was she always? She should always be somewhere that she's useful. Why is she never doing useful things? She's the we remember her as a cameo. Bring about, oh god, okay, thank you, that's your one every 5 episode cameo, but you always do a good job in your doctory, and why are you not always in sick? I don't know.
Dr. Pollard, yeah. Yeah, she's fine. As far as ranking goes,
gentle C. I mean, I always liked her. I would like to have seen her more. She was a much better doctor than Culber. I'm sorry. The vibe I got.
Mitchell?
Blondie.
Is that her name?
No.
Don't remember her name.
Blondie.
Anyway.
She's pretty.
Yeah.
She has that going for her.
Character-wise, though,
did she have
it's gotta
lines?
be a D. Yeah, she did have a few. Yeah.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah, D. I mean, I can't even. I like that she died as Arium and came back as not Arium. That's nice, but yeah.
Reese actually gets bumped up because of this season. Went on a few missions, had a few things to say. Find out he loves the Connie. He would love Trekyards.
Well, he did like Trekyards. He actually
Yes.
he's the one that recognised us and told Bryce, "Hey, it's those guys."
Yeah.
He's the sort of actor that he appreciates being there. It comes with the performance, and he wants to give everything he can to almost nothing. But even that last episode, he doesn't feel jaded to be an extra for 5 years. Probably lost other good jobs because he had this job, but happy to be part of it. He's the only one that remained, the only one, all 5 years. He stayed at the station, did his job. You know, I'm gonna give this motherfucker a B.
He stayed at his post when the trainees ran.
Gonna give a motherfucking B for pure respect.
And it's sticking it out.
And he's definitely vibes a George Takei Sulu in the captain's chair as like the guy who wouldn't think would be captain, and then he suddenly had the chair. Like, oh, I get that, because you wouldn't think Sulu was captain from TOS. Why would you? Right? He's just one of the. But as soon as he's there, it's like, oh, I get it. Yeah, he should be in the Academy show. They should bring him in as a commander, second in charge of a new ship. Not captain, because that rank progression is ridiculous, but like second in command, bring in. He deserves to be on a full episode and kind of have fun with it. 100%. Season 1/2, Saru. Thoughts?
Again, Saru's always been a standout character for me. He was different though in season 1 and 2 with that kind of the fear and all that. Again, that's a Brian Fuller directive thing, so they had to overcome all that. But just came across as a bit of a dick sometimes. But I'm glad he changed. I'm glad the character kind of evolved. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I just don't like how aggressive he was for the sake of it. I get, always being afraid and yet being bitchy, cool, but very one-dimensional character from the first season. Just that science officer bitched to Michael, but as I said, it works as he knew that Lorca knew he could be manipulated. It makes sense, right? Perfect, makes sense. Grows because he kept changing his position and things, but it was always the makeup and the performance that made him more interesting. Had it been a human, he would be another meh. But it's like the vibe of the actor and the makeup that makes it work. But I mean, he's one of the best parts of a poor set of seasons. But I mean, B, because you've got Stamets. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do some moving. I feel like. Takuma Mach! Fucking.
F tier. It's that easy.
So you want him to die?
Yes.
Yes. Well said. Yep. Genocidal maniac. First thing we see, instant pisses you off. Captain Filippo Giorgio of the USS Shinjo, one of the most famous Trek captains according to the plaque of famous captains.
Not the plaque, it was a data call-up.
That's what I meant.
Data screen.
Terrible captain.
Terrible captain. Yep. Totally agree. Again, not a fan. But this is what Giorgio eventually became, because they kind of felt bad for killing. This is what Empress Giorgio became, because they felt bad for killing this character, I think. They wanted to explore that a bit more. But yeah, I don't know where did we put the other one? We put her in B, but somebody bumped her up to A, I think.
Yeah. I mean, she's really a non-character, and they didn't give her enough time to do anything meaningful. And it's a low-ranking ship. She made stupid choices. I mean, D. Honestly, just dumb choices. And of course, like less than 12 minutes of screen time.
Yeah. Maul.
Ooh,
Not
wow.
very good in my opinion.
Stuart, contrast factor. My goodness, from season 1 and then 5. Goodness. Wow.
Yes.
Just happens to be just wow.
Not a very good character in my opinion.
Oh.
Started off strong and this kind of got kind of pathetic and whiny, honestly. And I didn't buy her taking over the Breen. Like, I don't think the character was written well, and that's a shame because she had a lot of potential. Again, there's a lot of wasted potential in Discovery, so. Yeah, I didn't really. Character didn't go where I thought the character should go.
For the most part, decent acting though.
Yeah.
But yeah, very underwhelming thing with Booker. Became very one note at the end, which was just last week basically. But compare this to all the other Discovery characters, she's so much better than so many other people, right? Like by contrast, she's better written and better acted and better zoned in on. But the fact that she got so much screen time and yet didn't really evolve per se, like she sort of did and then reset to just the other thing. But she's
Grievous $2. Look, it's AliExpress Shinhati.
Yeah, that was a weird choice. I will say C, but again, I think we're gonna start moving. Like B is gonna get changed. Because it is a very, very broad field. And perhaps our rule about not wanting to be them dead is going to change. Potentially.
Yeah, I'd put her at a B, probably.
I'm happy with a C, because like you say, she didn't have much of a growth or development. But B is such a range, though. You are right, like...
It's fine, we're going to be shuffling them soon.
Yeah.
Season 1 Tilly. Hashtag silly for Tilly.
Looks very different as well. That's why I picked this particular picture. Almost indistinguishable as look, vibe, and even palette of skincare.
I had a bit of a soft spot for Tilly, and the opposite of soft spot as well. She reminds me a lot of Sylvia, with kind of the quirkiness and stuff like that. So she's, again, the character that changed. I like the path she was on in season 1. She was kind of annoying at times. Yes, I understand this. But honestly, they really dropped the ball with her in seasons 4 and 5, or 3 and 4. Sorry. I think they kind of got a little bit of that back for season 5, but I really enjoyed season 1 Tilly. I kind of liked the awkward kind of quirkiness of her character, and that's what I'll leave it for now. Ray Ricks, though, £5. Maul to C. Maul to C. Bonnie and Clyde thing she had going on didn't reach its potential. Yeah. All right, we'll bump her up.
Never bad though.
Maul is at C, isn't she?
Yes. Well, you were going to go B. I think that's when he put that in.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, Tilly is tricky because in the first, and I watched the scene for another reason. The first two, her first two, she's one character. She's Clea Spurge's autistic. That's it. And then she isn't that at some point. It just gets turned off without a rationale. So it's hard to, like, there's that Tilly, and there's the end of season 1 Tilly, and then there's season 2 Tilly, then it becomes Mary Wiseman, right? But also not. So what am I judging here, right? Like,
yeah,
it would have been an interesting plotline, if they'd gone that route. Very hard to act and to keep going because any autistic person is at that level is hard to write for because obviously it's a unique thing. I don't know where they were thinking they were going to go with her because she's just. I mean, I guess she's the the opposite to Michael, right? Michael's there aggressive and mean and bad life, and then she's young and innocent and there to be sort of scared and friended and to. I don't know what they. I mean, you don't necessarily plan seasons ahead, but she's just spore tech lady person. Where's the plan? I don't know, but they'll go from there. What did she do? She did some spore stuff.
Yeah.
And then season 2, she
kind of flirted with Pike a little bit. but not intentionally.
What did she do in season 2?
Not much of anything that I can remember.
For season 3, she was like, I'm now going to be shadowing the captain and be...
Yeah.
That was... I mean, I'll let you place her, but the fact that I have no memory of anything in season 2 wouldn't be that high for me.
You'll let me place her.
I'll let you place her in any position you want.
There's no bedroom tier.
Place her in contrast to the other Tilly, because that's all we can go by here, right? If you like her more, less, or the same, knowing there are gradients within each tier.
She's got to go in B. Looking at B though, that's just how it be.
And Minkin is right. She aged radically from being looked like she could be in her early 20s to being like in her late 30s over the course of only 6 or 7 years of acting. Always the risk. With Paul Stamets, same damn vibe. Bloody and Fez, not the actors, but like she looks the most different, just from an age thing. Oh yeah.
Mud. I think he was a great villain or antagonist, but didn't get.
No, it's the guy from The Office. It's
I
Dwight.
Don't remember.
I've now seen The Office. I've now seen it. I now know him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, never gave me the vibe of Mud at all. Just another like kind of rogue villain or antagonist, but really enjoyable to watch. He enjoyed his time. He enjoyed his role, and it kind of showed. But yeah, he never felt like Mud to me. So there we go.
Yeah, as a fun bastard, he's great, right? But he's definitely the crook versus the smuggler vibe. There is a difference. Mm-hmm. He had three? Did he have 2 or 3? No, 3 because he can kind of short track, I suppose. Kind of surprised he never came back. They could have hologrammed him or anything, I suppose. And he was certainly we've got a famous actor. He's a famous character. Let's just play. So he got really good stuff. Was it appropriate or consistent? Who the fuck cares? They got a good actor, and they had him. I guess definitionally, because he did good, I would give him an A. Because he was so notable and good at what he was doing. Was it right for the role? Fucking who cares? He was good at what he was doing, so I guess an A.
Yeah, A is fine.
Yeah, God, I wouldn't have thought of going in, but compared to B, I mean, he just stands out as being just more interesting, right? Just interesting becomes a de facto piece. Goodness!
Speaking of interesting, one of my favorite Discovery characters of all time is next.
Oh.
Admiral Anderson.
Okay.
He was fantastic for his, minute and a half on screen. Just unfortunately, his ship, the Europa, got destroyed right good. And he died right then and there. But anyway, I thought he was a fantastic admiral, and I'm like, ooh, this guy's going to be great. Kind of gave me those, Lorca vibes before we even saw Lorca. And it's like, hey, I like this guy.
Very future.
And then he dies.
Very future vibe, yeah.
And then we get Lorca. And then he died. And it's like, you just don't want to give me... Then they gave me Rainier, so it's fine. No, I think Anderson was great as a character.
He was there.
You don't remember anything he did, do you?
I remember he gave an impassioned speech.
And then got cleaved.
I'll let you place him at a sympathy to your cause.
Admiral Anderson's getting an A. He needed more screen time.
Okay.
Admiral Anderson, A. That's a lot of A's.
Yes. Beats Battlestar Galactica, yes.
Amanda.
Good, yeah. Good casting.
We see her in Strange New World as well.
Yeah, no, yeah, good. Again, now we've compared everybody. She's an absolute standout of that season because now we've compared. I'm gonna straight say an A for what she was doing. She gets an A from me.
A works.
Yeah, and just a good actress and doing good work for probably not the best lines.
Booker.
It's good. Even when not given much, he still commits really hard to the bit.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, and a fantastic guy as well in real life.
Yeah, and I just seen him. I said when he came on as a villain in Supergirl, and he was daft. So to go from this, yeah, S. I mean, he's really, when he excels, he truly excels, and he's clearly now the second lead of Discovery. If you break it down to screen time and importance in average storytelling, he's number 2 for season 3 and 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give him an S. I think he does some very good work. He does some mediocre work, but that's script. But he always commits well, and he's got a lot of screen time. He's got an 8-pack, whatever he had, and he's good in season 3. Although I do think it's daft. He says, you know, in the last episode, I fell in love with you from the moment I saw you. It's like, we watched that. No, you didn't. You really didn't. You really didn't, Booker. We were there. You're trying to shoot her and stuff.
Benjamin Stone throws in £5. Put A. Tilly up to A tier. Mary Wiseman did a great job as an actor, meeting the balance between annoying and lovable.
She sometimes did. She had enough scenes that she varied. But yes.
I'll put season 1 Tilly up there just because.
That's, yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got Captain Burnham.
Right, we got this. We got the good Burnham first. I mean, we got this Burnham first. Wow, this is going to be a debate. Okay, put in your super chats where you think she should be. Captain Burnham exclusively. She's a decent captain. She has a level of authority. She has a better level head, because compared to where she was earlier in her career, she actually has a level head. Doesn't run around as much on the ship, but she does that on planets now. But her greatest flaw is that she ignores her entire crew and she does everything herself, thereby using none of the skill set of her highly trained officers. And part of being a good captain is being a good delegator and a good team player. She's neither. Because you probably do every mission
better
quicker.
than season 1 Burnham, as far as being a team player goes.
Well, indeed. Well, she thinks she was the team in season 1, 2, and 3. She was the leader. But when she is now beyond the team, she's no team. What do you think?
They definitely improved her character. They got rid of all of the Burnisms from season 1, and they definitely listened to the fans. She became much more likable. She smiled more. She kind of lost her Vulcanisms, and as a result, was a much more likable character.
Well, she lost.
Yes,
she lost the entire pitch sheet for the season 1 casting call.
Yeah. And she did listen to people more than she did before. So
yeah.
They improved her character substantially, and I think as far as a captain goes, she was all right. She's better as a captain for sure, but still not S tier in my opinion.
Oh no, no. Well, she has too many scenes with not enough good decision making relative to them, and like I say. It would be very obnoxious to watch Picard or Janeway or Cisco do every single mission themselves and ignore their crew, and leave O'Brien on the ship when there's an engineering problem, or leaving Tuvok on the ship when there's a tactical situation. It's like that's a significant character flaw in her personality. But this is a Discovery list comparison to these characters, right? She's a low tier captain in the grand scheme of the show.
Yeah.
But she's definitely got more screen time than most people in A.
Yes.
I mean, she's better than Mira Giorgio. She's better than Mudge. She's better than Admiral Anderson. She's better than Tilly. She's better than a lot of them. So definitionally, she should be an A because she beats out a lot of A.
She should be an S because she beats out a lot of A. That's what you meant.
But you know, you could argue that Saru is better in some ways. Rayna certainly she's better in his smaller role. She makes too many bad decisions. I still wouldn't give her an S. I'll give her a pleasant A, and she should be happy with a pleasant A.
Yeah. Speaking of Burnham.
Oh goodness.
That's a C character at best.
She shouldn't be in Starfleet. Well, she wasn't, in fairness. She was Vulcan Science Academy and then got flown in because of nepotism. So she skipped all the stuff that involved it. So it makes sense why she was the way she was, but that's not a good way of being.
D, because she started a Klingon war.
She's unlikable.
Under captain.
She's unbalanced. In season 2, she just went rogue the entire season and didn't care. Better than 3, but this is more 1 and 2. She fires a phaser backwards. Does not use a phaser. I think she's a D. I think this version of her is so poorly written, and the actor is so much better than the material.
Mm-hmm.
Not F. That's really unfair. But yeah, I think she's D grade.
Ray Ricks, £5. Best version of Burnham. Once followed orders when it suits. Did everything herself and was essentially Space Jesus. Nico Martin Green did a good job. So A tier. She's already in A tier.
Well, Zabrax, she did go to the signal thing and have the guy stab himself, which then started the war. If she hadn't gone there would have been something else. So she was still the catalyst for it. And she said fire first, which again would have been a problem. They should have just warped out, and that would have avoided the entire situation. Just saying. Osira, pretty darn good villain. Not a good ending with the fight in the room, but some great scenes, some great diplomacy, some great makeup, some great performance. Should have been alive and should have been a multi-season villain. I would give us potentially even an A, because had more screen time and a lot of good scenes compared to Culber and Kovic. I would argue an A, just for the recycled matter negotiation sequences alone. Those were top tier.
Yeah, A is good for a villain.
Yeah. Cool.
And lastly...
Oh, there we go. Shit, there's a... Oh, okay. Locke. Silent and deadly. Except in hand-to-hand combat.
Pretty good character, actually.
Yeah.
Played it very cool and low-key, so...
Yep.
Plus, I liked his voice. He's got a cool voice.
Yeah, well known for his voice.
Well,
he's a classic like Boba Fett, right? He's like, he looks cool, he acts cool. End of sentence, right?
Thinking A or B?
I would say B.
That's where I had him.
Yeah.
I was hovering above B.
Yeah. A well-respectful B, but a low B, but a well-respectful low B.
Better than Maul, for sure.
Well, it's because it's funny, saying more weakened her. Saying less improved her.
Yes.
He also got the Bonnie and Clyde stuff. She got the Bonnie and Clyde stuff plus the second half. All right. This is when you guys have ultimate power. We'd love to see another 3 or 4 moves. There's a lot to move here. We're going to give you guys 5 minutes. Only 5. I'm going to put a timer on as well, because we've got other things to do. And we're going to think about what we want to move in the meantime. Okay. 5 minutes. Any moves? I'll read the poll.
Ray Rex, £5. Can't be lastly. Grudge S tier. We're not adding Grudge to the list.
And I also could have added the Andorian Admiral guy from season 1, but he's sort of just the guy. There's also the bounty hunter from. There's a few one-offs. It's like, yeah.
Oh, there's that Andorian in season 2. One that Mary Wiseman ended up marrying.
Oh yeah, he was meant to be added, but I guess no one did. But that's okay. Right, poll, 111 votes. Favorite Discovery character? Gosh, I guess you created 100 profiles, Stuart. But 44% Lorca.
He was a great character.
40% Saru. 8% Tilly. 8% Burnham. Wow.
Interesting results.
Interesting results, yeah. So yeah, guys, 4 minutes and on the dot left to move people. This is your last chance. We have our final move. $5 super chat to move.
George Mangrum, number 39 minutes at Regular Lieutenant. What about Zora?
Slow C? C?
Yeah.
Medium C?
C for computer.
Yeah. Like, nothing against her, but they sort of forgot she existed as well. Even though they didn't, because she was... Yeah. Tricky. But that is, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so any changes you guys want to make? Now's the time. Shuffle them around.
Yes.
I can see some changes that I probably want to make too. But yes, now's your chance. Benjamin Stone, £5. Cats count as characters. Spot had the greatest cameo in all of Star Trek. That's wonderful. We're not adding Grudge to the list, though. Thank you. Everybody agrees he's an S tier.
Okay.
Or she. I guess Gridge is a she because he's a queen.
Yes. Official, our top S. 3 minutes left, guys. 3 minutes left. I want to know. Or did we get everything right? Because that's a lot of people that we...
No, we didn't get everything right.
Okay.
But this is a community list, so guys, if you have any changes you'd like to make, now's the time. People have spoken. Hit the like button if you haven't already. There's 58 of you here and 55 likes. Try to get those likes up a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, any super chat changes you want to see made, now's the chance. And then we'll lock it in as a community list, and then we will do our shuffling and do our own definitive Trekyards list.
Pretty much.
No love for Lieutenant Commander Nelson. She's on there.
She's Blondie.
That's the blonde chick, yeah. Where did we put her?
D, because we couldn't remember her name.
Yeah, she's there.
Oh, I hope you're okay, Han.
All to F except Lorca.
Yeah, we got back in. Sorry, I got 1 second.
All right. So yeah, let's get going. Hashtag F for Fred. Yeah, Fred should have been there. Maybe I think probably would have given Fred a C if he had been there. Honestly, but 59 likes. It's pretty good. Can we get one more to get to 60? Just one more like would be awesome. Then we'll do a few shuffling bits in housekeeping here because I think there are a few that need to be shuffled around a tad. But yeah, anything you want to lock in for a community one, now's your chance. Han. 10 drugs a day now. Oof. I hope you're okay. There you go. One more. One more what? Justice for Sahil. Yes, we need to put Sahil on the list. We're not going to add him, but yes, Sahil probably would have got like... Well, he created the hashtag Justice for Sahil thing because he was such a great character. So at least an A. And we got the 60 likes, which is great. And I don't know what Sam's doing, but he's listening to the live and he's on this chat for some reason. So I'm just going to call it there. That's the end for the super chats. If you guys haven't super chatted in by now, and I'll start shuffling the list because Sam's not here. So let's see. Who do I want changed? I think probably bump Linus down from a B to a C. So I'm going to do that. Oh, I should probably got to get a snapshot of this first for the community list, the official community list. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to move Linus down to a C. That's my first choice for a change. As much as I love Linus, I think B was a little too high for him. Eric Martin, $5. I think Book and Reno should be reversed, in my opinion. Got to get back to work. We can move one with $5, Eric. I'll say we'll move Reno up to S tier for you for a hot minute. And so thank you for the super chat. I'll lock in that new community list. I'll move Linus back up because changes. All right. So there's the community list. All right. So I'm going to move Linus back down to C. I kind of want to move Primarch dude down to F because I think he's kind of an idiot.
Oh, sorry, that was a thing. Yes, I agree with Linus.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I want to start the bottom down because I think we need to work out where the bottom barrel is for contrast versus top up. Just 'cause I think the needs to be more middle. So I want to give instantly the second lady in D F because it's just not enough for her to be higher. That clarification of don't want them down, I think it's got to be gone now.
I also want that Klingon down enough.
And the other lady, yeah, that one. And the black kid, honestly, sorry. Maybe even Giorgio. Because there's nothing there, right? Like, there's just nothing there.
But the computer said she was one of the best captains in Starfleet.
Okay, cool. So that helps to give D more meaning, I think. Then I think we should move both the Kenneth Michael C's down to D. So I think B and C got a bit too crowded, is what I'm trying to say. I'm probably saying honestly with the next three people as well. Those three also should be D by that logic.
Yep, 100% agree with those.
But I'm happy that everyone's in C. I think all those are C's. I think they all stand out a bit stronger.
Yes. I think Adira should be bumped down to a C.
Yes.
So should Gray, honestly.
Yes. As should Laurel. Just not enough good stuff.
Yeah. Which is a shame because these are great actors, but.
And then just to keep a bit of semblance, can we move the admiral that died after one speech? Can you be a B?
No. Fine.
Just because that's a
Admiral Anderson, the admiral that gave one speech.
Because that instantly works a lot better for me.
Yeah, actually. Move Jet Reno back down. To A.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, and we said Giorgio was B. Bad Giorgio.
B for bad.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome, Eric. I'm glad you feel better now.
What?
Because he wanted to swap Jet and Book, and I'm like, no, you can only do one, so I just moved Jet up.
Yeah. I would be open to moving Maul down to a D because I like her less than everyone else in C, just for the likability factor.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at her as well for that.
Yeah.
And honestly, the acting for her wasn't that great.
I should more of a range.
I feel like Dr. Pollard should probably go down to a D as well.
Yeah, but she was good in every scene, though. Like Linus, like...
What, all two of them? Yeah, she was great.
No, she had lots of very, very, very small scenes. It was very, very small. No, I think she's better than... Like, she stands out to be better than Detmer and... I mean, not Sarek, but Sarek is annoying other ways.
And Eric says, how Book can be above Reno is astonishing to me. Well, Book had a lot more scenes than Reno did, unfortunately.
He's a fleshed out three-dimensional character that had a planet, a relationship, parents, a journey,
a future,
a villain arc in season 4. What do you mean? Jittery was just an engineer sometimes and a jokester sometimes. That's it. Yeah, clearly. Not even comparable.
Oh, we didn't put Owo on the list.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I definitely...
She'd be a C for me.
Yeah, but also we know the actress and she was lovely, which does...
She's above Detmer, and she went on an away mission. She actually had more to do.
Thank you for pointing that out, because I definitely put her in the folder. Why is she not? Did I do 2 clone of someone else? Or did I do a couple of them?
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, George. We should have caught that one.
Yeah. I don't know. Discovery. It's not the best picture, but I'm trying to mildly rush. It's a slightly better picture. 1 second. Come on. I would give her a pleasant C.
Yeah, well, exactly. By the way, she's a fantastic woman.
Yeah, watch her interview. It made us smile.
Yeah, she's generally a great person.
And I wish her all success in future things. Her and her...
An awful picture of her, but that's okay.
Well, you know, some of them aren't the best. But yeah, very, very happy to be C. And I would certainly joke that... What's his name? Zahil would be an A for me, because he just represents everything good.
Zahil?
Justice for, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the lad went to work every day for 30 years, never lost hope.
Created a hashtag. He was such a good character.
And we did it, Stuart. We did it. We managed to reshoot the ending.
It feels like it. It was like a tacked on scene. Like you guys called for it.
Yeah, we grabbed it. It's like it was our equivalent of the Picard season 3. No, that was our thing. We like that guy and that idea. Yeah. All right. Pretty happy with that. A lot of characters. And I really want to know what Brett and Matt think. None of the thing they're watching, but like it's quite a big, bold list. I bet you the A's and the B's will have a lot of people reversing. A lot of debate in those. But I'm pretty happy with those. I think we have our reasons for all of them. Mm-hmm. Which is amazing that, well, it's amazing that look at what happened. You've got 4 characters from season 3 in S, 4, 3 higher ups because we like politics when it's done right. Books is basically the second main character, and then the 2 captains who've got the most central stuff to do. One being overly goody, one being overly baddie. S. A, we have a broad variety of good actors who have some good material and some bad material, but for the most part do well with their material. B, we have people who are let down by material but who have really good scenes. Well, for Discovery. Mm-hmm. I think that's really broad. C is people who are there who we don't dislike. We have a couple of good scenes. But also Adira and Gray, they have a lot more time than people, but they also fizzle, and fizzle is also a problem, right?
Yeah.
D is everyone else. And then F is go away. / who are you? / what?
Yeah. Yep.
Really interesting, Stuart.
The whole list just stinks of missed opportunity, though. All the tears.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fascinating.
And no, Eric, we moved her up, and then that's the rules. That's the community list. We locked that in, and then we changed it. So your $5 was not in the fireplace. I thought you can be here all the time and yet not know the situation. And I'm not being mean.
Maybe he's sleepy.
Maybe.
But yeah, well, there we go. What an epic. I think that's our most. No, the weapons. Hand phasers, that was our biggest. Yeah. Wow. So tune in for our next rankings, which will be which will be a lot less, but probably more debate. The best season enders.
Yes.
By season,
Finales.
I mean series. I mean franchise. You know, Enterprise, TOS, TAS, etc., etc.
Season finales.
Closing moments of their bit.
Series finales, not season.
That's
series finales.
Yes. There's only a few of them, so it'll be a much smaller set, but bit of debate.
Better discussion.
Oh, yeah. They're only an hour long, so those episodes. Well, no, I guess they're not. The new ones are. But yes, thank you guys. Hope you agree.
Yeah.
Hope you're with us there.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Tune in for our next one, which will be tomorrow. I don't know what we're doing yet exactly, but
Probably the rankings.
okay, there you go.
Double bullet.
And yeah, we'll see you then. So until then,
yeah,
he's Commander Cockings.
This was fun, Stuart. This was a good time.
It was.
And he is Captain Foley, the legendary.
And we'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Bye, buddy.